it's Lisa, today with a 4-pile pick-a-card reading. The question today is, what was their first impression of me? So we've got pile number 1 with the tree agate, pile number 2 with rose quartz, pile number 3 with moonstone, and pile number 4 with red agate. And as always, the timestamps will be down below in the description box as well as the comment section. And I just want to say thank you all to my new subscribers and all the old subscribers and everyone who leaves comments and likes. I really appreciate it. And I will be getting to some new requests that you've been giving. I know I've had quite a few and I've screenshotted them, and I'm going to try to get over to them this weekend. I've just been busy with work and just it's the end of the school year, and whew, I'm almost there. Okay, so I want to wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello to those of you that have chosen the tree agate, which is pile number 1. So what was your first impression? What was the first impression that you made on this person that you're asking about? Well, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, the Empress, the Stars, the Chimera, Goldfish, Vulture, Teapot, and Woman. Now, I do want to note that I noticed that, there are 2 4s here, so I'm going to be honest, I'm not very good with numbers and numerology or any of that stuff. I know my life path number, it's a 9, but that's about all I really know. I'm not very familiar with what meanings numbers have. Like when I do see synchronicity type numbers, I'll look them up, like repeating numbers, but yeah, I'm not very good at the numbers. I do know that in my head, 4s are about stability, and I think that is represented in the tarot, but it's about a stable foundation of some kind. But yeah, so that's all I'm going to go into on that. But with the 4 of Pentacles, we have somebody who they could have thought of you as, they could have thought of you as a thrifty person. Although with the Goldfish card here, which is increase in material wealth or spiritual growth, I do think that they saw you as somebody who is really trying to either find financial success or were financially successful in some way, as in you are very conservative with your money. You worked hard for it, you took really good care of it, and you weren't the type to just kind of blow it, right? Like that type of impression. On the more negative scale, it could have been that they saw you as a tightwad, somebody who won't spend a dime on anything. But I highly doubt that's the case for many of you. It's probably I feel like it's more along the lines of that you had material things, and it doesn't have to be that you were rich. If you're I'm not rich, it just means that they saw you as responsible with money, maybe a little bit tight with it, and taking care. But it could also be about your possessions, right? Because Pentacles can represent earthly things. So it could be that you had, even a collection of something. It could be that you were the type to maybe be a bit of a hoarder. Do you know what I mean? Want to save things. Do you know what I mean? That's that type of energy. Saving and stuff. And I mean, yeah, on the other negative side, it could be a bit greedy. But, I think that would resonate with most of these, the people that we're thinking about. With the 4 of Cups, though, they may have met you during a time where you're a little bit depressed or disinterested. You may have given this person in the initial impression that you weren't interested in them at all. Maybe that type of thing. But I think that for many of you, you may have been going through a period of sadness or depression, because we do have Vulture, so it's about depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. And I do feel like many of you might have had that energy when you met them. You could have been really worrying about something, and they could tell it was eating at you, and you may have opened up to them about it. And then we have the Empress, and the Empress is honestly one of the nicest cards I think to get in this type of reading, because especially it's about being loving and nurturing. Those Venus qualities, beautiful and kind, caring. It's just, she's a very comforting person. And it could be that you're a mother yourself. But you could just be mothering to animals, to people around you and your family and friends. But it's generally a very, very good card to get And then we have, funnily enough, dealings or relationship with a woman. And you know what's hilarious is when I was doing these, I was like, man, I wonder if that card's going to pop out. And I was like, how vague would that be, right? Not vague, but yeah, I'm guessing that many of you that are watching this are a woman. But one other interesting thing that came out was deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So I feel like for some of you, this could be a same-sex reading. Whether it's friendship or romance or whatever. It almost makes me wonder if some of you, if you're, you know, listening actually for someone of the same gender, this is a confirmation, I guess, for you that this is definitely the reading for you. But yeah, it says deep friendship though, so it's like they saw in you the ability to have a deep friendship. And we have a long journey brings rewards, and that's another indication that there was like a desire to want to go further, you know? And that also with, you know, is an impression. It's like somebody, you know, that they wanted to go on a long journey with, that they wanted to make a, you know, to have that deep friendship with. So you're definitely one of those people for them. That was one of their first impressions, is that, man, this is a person I could be friends with for a long time. And it also could be that they saw you with this Four of Pentacles energy, as I mentioned, about like saving and taking care and you know, really being thrifty and stuff. It's kind of like they saw you as a person that was really looking at the long run, like the long run, you know what I mean? Like you're looking ahead at your retirement, or like, you know, planning ahead, kind of. And then we have imagination clouds your judgment. So I think that might relate to this Four of Cups here, which is about that, like the depression. They may have thought that perhaps, you know, if it's like anxiety, for instance, that you were going through, like this card does mention anxiety as well. It could be that, like, perhaps they felt like you're just a bit of a nervous person. Like, it was kind of like, you know, your imagination was running wild. Like, it does also, you remember, say that someone's working against you. So maybe you were suspicious of somebody and they're like, that's just kind of in their imagination. You know? That could just be like, you know, along the lines of, it doesn't have to even be somebody in your life. It could have been like, you know, you were talking about conspiracy theories and they're like, okay, you know what I mean? That type of thing. Or like maybe you had some theories or whatever and they're like, wow, this person's got quite the imagination, right? So that could be, you know, something that they, you know, felt about you when they first met you. They're like, this person's got some wild imagination. It does say cloud your judgment. Yeah. For some of them, they may have felt like maybe you had opposing views, and so they kind of were like, I'm interested, but this person sure is, yeah, I got a wild imagination. But yeah, that's what I get for you, pile number one. That's the first impression. I mean, I think it's overall a very good impression. You know, not the depression thing, but I think that's, you know, I think it was more due to the circumstances rather than, you know, what they, you know, thought of you as a person per se. It was maybe the circumstances you were in at the time. But I do see that they really feel like, you know, there was a deep friendship. And like I said, for some of you, this it could be you're even asking about a friend and not like a love interest. But like for some of you, it may be a same-sex love interest in that case. But yeah, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey! So if you've chosen pile number 2 at the Rose Quartz, this is your reading. So what was their first impression of you? We've got the Green Man, which is like the Fool in the Green Witch Tarot, and then the Ace of Wands, the Wheel of the Year, Love, Seduction, Marriage, Grapes, Ladder, and Hills. Okay, obviously, as you guys can see, they definitely felt romantic feelings from you right from the get-go, this person. So what was their first impression? What impression did you give them? Well, with the Green Man here, it relates to like the Fool in classic tarot decks, and it's all about somebody who's willing to go on adventures, is excited and has a zest for life, is ready to, you know, do things, you know, that maybe, you know, others haven't, and is ready to kind of just jump off the ledge and get it done, right? So definitely with a zest for life. And some of you may have even met while you were out doing something fun, like a party or some kind of event, and because we do have grapes and it's like time to go out and have fun. So definitely I think that they had a very fun loving impression of you, And I also feel like that because of this, well, the other cards also confirm this. I think we have the Ace of Wands, and that really indicates that there was a definite passion and spark between the two of you. They really felt like you had, like I said, that zest for life. It really goes along with this, that you want to, reach for the, reach, your limits, and you want to do things, and you have plans, and you're passionate. And it also can indicate like a strong sexual attraction between two people. And so you may have exuded like kind of very, attractive vibe to them. They're like, wow, she's hot, or he's hot, that type of thing. Especially because we do have passion and romance awaits, and love, true love and fidelity. That there was definitely romantic intentions involved, or like impression, like that impression that gave them, that attracted them to you. We have the Wheel of the Year, and the Wheel of the Year to me is like the happy-go-lucky person. The person who, realizes that life has ups and downs, but is like totally, realizes like, oh, that's how it goes, and, is going to have that kind of, that full attitude no matter what. It kind of goes along really well with that, I think, because it's just like, yeah, well, shit happens, and like we have obstacles to overcome. It's like they may have saw that you had obstacles or whatever, or maybe you didn't have any at the time, but they realize that you're the type of person that is like, obstacles, oh, I'll get it done with this, with that Fool card. I'm going to figure it out, and, things will always get better, right? Could have been that they also saw you as a lucky person. Perhaps you, won something or something, but I mean, that's just totally off the wall. I just pulled that out of nowhere. But yeah, climbing towards success, and that's what I'm saying, like that climbing, like it's trying to like go up, it's just all about trying to like be, a lot of passion for life, and a lot of ideas, fresh ideas, and the drive, to kind of start them and get them done no matter what. So we also have the marriage card. So this person, and with the Wheel of the Year, the Wheel of Fortune, that really indicates that this person may have even seen you as like, like almost like a soulmate type of thing. Like it was meant to be, that there was divine timing involved, that you guys met under unusual circumstances, that perhaps it was like you were meant to be in their life at that moment. They may have had that impression. Like you came in kind of just when I needed you, you know what I mean, type of thing. And yeah, we have seduction, so yeah, passion and romance await. So they definitely were like, they knew when they saw you that, they wanted it to be something passionate. And then true love and fidelity. So definitely, like, it goes along with this marriage card. They definitely didn't only see you as somebody that was, it wasn't like they had a one-night stand or a fling type of impression with you. That we might have had just if it were just a tarot. I would say maybe, it wasn't exactly a long-lasting type of, an impression that you gave. Didn't really give them those feelings, but that I do see that reflected in the other cards, that, could, give that confirmation that it's more than that. It was more than that. But yeah, that's your impression, pile number 1. That's the impression you gave this person. Like I said, definitely like a person that's ready to go on an adventure, that's, very excitable, and, a lot of drive in life, and there was a lot of attraction, like a magnetic attraction. And yeah, happy-go-lucky type that realizes, obstacles to overcome, I can do it, you know what I mean? I always get through anything. Maybe that type of optimistic attitude. And then climbing towards success, like trying to improve your life, and like with the Fool, like putting all your effort in and just taking the leap of faith, to get towards where you want to be, to start that journey and get where you want to be in life. But yeah, that's your pile reading number 2. If if you liked it, you can leave me a comment, leave me a like, or subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care, guys. Hey guys, so pile number 3, if you've chosen the Moonstone, this is your reading for what was their first impression of you. So we have the 3 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Strength card, the Mystic Circle, and the Minstrel. We also have Ram, Egg, Love, and Beetle. Beetle, I said that funny, Beetle. So with the Three of Wands and the Knight of Wands here, I really feel like they saw you as a person that was very adventurous. That was definitely like had a lot of plans, and with this Three of Wands in particular, like a lot of plans and ideas about life. They could have saw you as a traveler of some kind as well, like that you had, maybe you had a love of traveling and you shared that with them, and they're like, man, this person's going places. They have ideas and things they want to do, things that they want to accomplish. And then we have the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is also an adventurous person who's like, a traveler who wants to see all that he can or she can, that wants to experience a lot of things, that wants to, move fast and quick. One thing I did notice is that all of these are like kind of like fire type of cards, so there could be that you're a fire sign or that you show up kind of like that in that way, with that kind of like, fresh energy that just wants to get things done and wants to accomplish a lot. We do have Ram, so it says a stubborn, aggressive person. So maybe you gave them an impression that, it could have been aggressive, but I do think with the Strength card, I think it talks about somebody that, is willing to put in the, willing to put in the work to get things done. That you're not going to back down from something. When you want something, you're going to put all your, you're all into it. Like, for instance, the Strength card is a lot about patience. Somebody who's willing to, like, stubbornly, she had to have been stubborn and put her effort into taming this lion. And that's just, I think, the impression that you gave them, that, you're willing to, not only just be, like, fly by the seat of your pants and, like, yeah, you're adventurous and all that stuff, but and like these energies sometimes, like a Knight of Wands in particular, can represent somebody who's, a little bit flaky maybe sometimes. But with the Strength card, I really don't feel like that was the case. They could have also seen you as somebody who was strong in their convictions, believed in, a cause with all of their heart, that type of thing. Somebody that stubbornly believed in what, they thought was the right thing to do, and what, whatever that would mean, As well, we have, your abilities will be enhanced. And so I think that they got the impression that you gave that you could somehow enhance their life in some way. You know what I mean? Enhance an ability that they have. It could be that you met this person and they realize that you have some kind of skill that they'd like to learn. Some kind of information that they'd like to learn. And as well, like, back to the Strength thing, and we have in the stubborn, aggressive person, we have let your intentions be known. So you're the type of person that's going to tell them kind of straight out, and flat out what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like. It's going to be like, you let your intentions be known, as simple as that. Like, you don't, beat around the bush exactly. You're going to be straightforward about it, and you're not going to, maybe that can come off aggressive to some personality types. Do you know what I mean? Because some people are a little bit more maybe sensitive sometimes to, like, if somebody's going to be too upfront. But, yeah, that would depend on how that person reacted in that way. They could have saw you that way, but I don't think so. I think it's more like they saw you as somebody who was, aggressively going after what they want and stubborn about getting it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it has to be something that's, angry or negative, because we do have some other good cards here that don't really imply that it was a bad impression of any kind. We have success assured with good plans and hard work, and that's what the Three of Wands is about, kind of. It's almost about, like, your plans and thinking about the future, you know what I mean? And they definitely saw you as somebody that had success in their future, like, on the horizon. Right? That somebody that has plans and is going to bring in that. We have good fortune, so bring in good fortune. And perhaps you did, they felt in a way that you're bringing something good into their life. And then we have love. And like I said, this doesn't have to be a romantic reading. So love could be, depending on the situation, of course, whether this is a romantic connection or not. But if it was a romantic connection, they definitely had that first, like, that their first impression of you was one of, like, love. Like, the feeling sparked immediately, and started to develop immediately. But it's about, you know, with love. They could see you as a very loving person as well. With the Strength card, she doesn't use like force or her strength to get exactly always what to, you know what I mean? It's more about patience in this case. So I do think there is a good balance with the Strength card here, and, you know, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands could maybe be a bit hasty sometimes and aggressive about getting what they want. But with the Strength card here, it offsets that. It's not as negative as maybe it could be. That, I'm not saying that the Knight of Wands is a negative card. It isn't per se. But just the qualities, in terms of qualities. So, yeah. Basically, they saw you as somebody who had a lot of great plans. And, you know, was looking towards the future, looking for success. And, you know, and they felt like, you know, you had the ability to do that, because you are willing to put in like the hard work, like with the Strength card, right? You're willing to, you know, stick to your beliefs, and, you know, not, like I said, be stubborn about them. Maybe sometimes a bit aggressive, but, you know, like I said, that could just be their perception based on their personality. You know, you're the type of person that lets your intentions be known. You let people know what you're on about and what you know, what you want, what you don't want. And they did feel like you would benefit them in some way, that maybe you had some knowledge that they could learn from you. And yeah, that you're, you know, an adventurous, passionate person, you know, with a lot of good fortune. And there were definitely some love feelings of some kind, for those of you that were, it was romantic, even if it was a friendship, like it's been a friend, you know, it turned into a friendship. There were definitely, you know, like warm feelings for sure. And but yeah, like I said, it could be that you're also just, they saw that you're a very loving person and a very caring person. But that's your reading, pile number 3. If you like this, you can let me know in the comments. I like reading your comments, and you could give a like if you'd like. Give a like if you'd like. And I'll see you all in the next reading, and take care. Hello to those of you that have chosen pile number 4 with the red agate. This is your reading. So what was our first impression of you? Well, we've got, oops, wait, this is backwards. It was like that. Sorry. It doesn't really matter though, because this is just general energies. But we have the Nine of Cups, the Star, Six of Swords, Hindrance, Air, Bowl, Harp, Broom, and September. I'll just point out with the September thing right away is that there could be some significance in the September. It could be your birthday, their birthday, the time you met, or maybe some kind of important event that happened between the two of you. This is, I think, more of just a sign for you guys. And as well, we have Virgo and Libra in September, and so that could be relevant. We do have air as well, so like here and here. So I don't usually use astrological signs, but we do have that air card. So let's see here, guys. Okay, with the Nine of Cups and plenty of material things, I definitely think that this person really saw you as somebody who is materially abundant in some way. This card, Nine of Cups, is all about abundance. It's a wish card. It's like you've got everything, you know, you're feeling very abundant and well taken care of. And it's really about that, you know, kind of like a luxury, you know, type of thing. Like, so it doesn't mean that you have to be, you know, mega rich and like all that stuff. It's just about that maybe they saw that you were well off, you know, materially in some way. It could just be that, you know, that can range based on people's impressions, you know, what they think is, you know, well off and or not, you know, based on their own personal circumstances. So they just might have thought you had a cool car, that you had a cool watch, or that you could afford a lot of things. Yeah, and you may think, to you, it may not seem like that because maybe you have a different idea about money. But yeah, so I definitely do see that they saw you as somebody that was, you know, abundant. And we have great happiness here, and that really goes along with the Nine of Cups. It's someone who's very happy. So we have the Star. And the Star is about, you know, that calm after the storm. It comes after the Tower, and it's all about, you know, to me, it's like all about peace and serenity and tranquility and quiet and calmness. And we have air, so it's like seek a union of mind and spirit. So I definitely think that they saw you as somebody that was very spiritual, very calming, and really like kind of put together in that way with that union between the mind and spirit. And a very hopeful person, somebody who has, you know, a lot of hope, and could also be that they saw they knew you were into astrology right away, but that's just, you know, a random thought there. With the Six of Swords, so we have the you know, boat moving out of the rough waters into the calm waters. So they may have had the impression that, okay, the first thing I want to say is that you may have met this person during a move of some kind. Like perhaps you moved to a new area, a new school, a new work, a job, and that is what kind of brought you together. And so that may have just, you know, played into the impression of you, their impression of you, that you were going in a new situation, right? Because we have new home, new attitude. And so, and with that Six of Swords, it's about moving out of something. So I do feel like that many of you met this person while you were in a transition in your life, or maybe you were trying to develop new attitudes, or like I said, maybe new situations, new living situations, new work situations. We have hindrance. So it says fate has blocked the path for you. And that's interesting. I do feel as if this person felt that the relationship was fated in some way, that the meeting was fated in some way. For some of you, they may have felt like the timing was off when they met you. Like perhaps if this is what, like a romantic connection, that the timing wasn't, they're like, man, this person's great, but the timing is all wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this is like this came at the wrong time. Like if it were a romantic relationship, like they could have been in a relationship already, or you could have been in a relationship, and like, damn, it's just like the timing's off. And they may have felt like you were a little bit blocked off from them in some way, like not unattainable. But it also could be that they felt like fate brought you to them. Like this person in the boat is getting away from something from before. And, you know, often when we have to move on in our life, we have to, you know, it's like something blocks us and we have to move on, right? To something else. And so they may have felt like that had a hand. They may have had that impression that that had a hand in them meeting you. Do you know what I mean? Like something that had been blocked for you brought you to them. Like for instance, if you didn't get accepted, like say it was like a university type of situation, and it's like, oh, you were hoping to get accepted into another school, but it got blocked, that path got blocked for you, and you ended up going to that school, and they're like, wow, yes, I'm so glad you got blocked for that school, or he or she or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But it could be, you know, it could play out many different ways, but that, you know, like I said, it could work either way, probably depending on your situation. But I definitely think that fate had a hand in it, in this person's impression of you, whether it was that they felt like fate was, like I said, blocking the connection in some way, or that led you to them. Yeah, okay, that almost came out wrong. But yeah, so that's what I got for you, pile number 4. This is really positive, actually. And Nine of Cups is a great card. Star is a great card. Six of Swords is a very good card because, you know, leaving stuff behind and moving on and all that stuff. Great happiness, plenty of material success. So, I mean, really a good impression. This person really thought highly of you, or, you know, when they first met you. And I hope they still feel the same. But that's your reading, pile number 4. If you liked it, you can, you know, I'd love a thumbs up and a comment if you'd like. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care.